Recently, we gave up on chasing the dream of homeownership the usual way. Prices through the roof, interest to the moon, none of it made any sense. So we bought a patch of remote, off-grid land instead, with a plan to build something we could retire to. No mortgage, no lawn signs, just tools, time, and a chance to turn the bush into a storybook life. Like when we were kids, building forts in the forest. Only now the trees are bigger, and so are the dreams.
Yeah. People are going to take laugh.
No, okay.
So should I put it inside? Or yeah?
Yeah, just drop it in the boat.
Go?
Yeah. Bears!
I'm coming.
Are you getting rid of the bears?
Yes, bears. Bears. We are
No,
here.
this doesn't help. You don't want to attract the bears by going, bears. You're supposed to say, bear, out of here, bear. What has taken up residence in our Argo?
That's good that you put the
Should be drinking it.
It's good that you put the tarpon.
Huh?
It's good that you put the tarpon.
Yeah. You see the corduroy over here?
Like one mosquito went to my eye.
Been a long time since Becca was out here. Over a year. Now she's got 2 weeks in the bush with me. Good to have her hands back on the work. Takes time to settle into this place. Took me days before I could breathe easy when I first started. She's wearing a brave face, fighting off the wild. But only the bush can cure that fear. Me, I'm just glad to see the land fresh through her eyes again. She spots beauty where I used to walk past blind. I always step into the wood area there. Don't, yeah, step into the wood area. Okay, lift your foot up. Pull your foot out of the boot. Yeah. Yeah, that's where you should put it in. Yep. Yep. Huh? Yeah, you're gonna get dirtier and dirtier, right? Out here we don't wear aftershave. We wear bush cologne.
The bears aren't gonna come. They're here. They don't like the sound of the Argo. It sounds like it's growling. They're never gonna come by. Yeah, just stay up there. I threw a stick over there because you dropped it here on the.
We learned something today. These fancy cameras with stabilization make riding the Argo look like a Sunday float down the river. But don't be fooled. The farther you get down that corduroy road, the rougher it gets. And Becca? She was about to find out the hard way that this smooth ride is holding on for dear life while the GoPro politely lies to you. Now some folks commented I should have made this trail a few feet wider, but if I did that, you'd miss out on one of the bush's finest gifts, that pleasant whip across the face from a wet alder branch. A little sting, a wake-up call, an experience that reminds you you're still alive. I laid out these logs in a pretty particular way. But when you drive a multi-wheeled rig over them, where the wheels are equally spaced, the logs don't stay put. They get shuffled into neat little groups all lined up with the wheel spacing. It's a physical phenomenon called resonance. Now, without getting technical, if you hit these puppies at just the right frequency, you just don't bounce, you get launched. As your butt heads down, the Argo seat's heading up with equal but opposite velocity. Basically, your spine gets spanked like it's riding through a washboard built by a sadistic carpenter. After what Becca could only describe as a drive-through hell, she rolls into the clearing. And for the first time, she sees the bones of the cabin in person. Now the camera don't show it, but these walls are pushing 9 feet. They look like sticks in the video, but standing here in the bush, they're starting to feel like home.
Huh? There we are.
Yeah.
What do you think?
It's nice. Yeah. Okay, I want to see how large it is. You said.
Yeah, go over there, over this way.
This open it?
Yeah, just go through here.
Wow. Yeah. It is like half my height. My height, like half of the length.
Some mud
yeah,
here.
it was something in my.
Just mud,
this one.
just a splatter of mud.
It looks nice. Mm-hmm. Oh, that's the fire pit?
Yeah.
Yeah. I like that. It'll be here and then the pond. I can look at it. Is that this one?
That's the...
Yeah. Oh, that's it.
This is going to be the
kitchen.
kitchen.
Right? This is kitchen.
This is the kitchen here.
And there is one there.
And this is for the front porch.
Yeah.
You think like the loft is going to be on top?
Yeah. It's really large. Yeah. It's spacious.
Yeah.
I mean, without this corduroy, it was so like tough. But without it, we couldn't even get here.
You know what I found is really nice?
So nice thing. You need equipment. Without
Yeah.
equipment.
I mean, it worked, right?
Yeah, it works.
Yeah, it's a
If
little...
it doesn't break, if it does break over there when I see the bear poop, dead. Honestly.
Well, the bears poop in all over the place, but if you make a trail, then you can see it. But
Do you have enough to kind of start something today? Make something today? It's getting hot. I think we need that tent that has the shade.
yeah, we could do that.
Yeah, because otherwise we become dehydrated.
First thing on the menu is getting this fourth wall up. We can't start the loft or the rafters until the walls are standing solid. And that strength only comes once the sheathing's on. Nothing says rustic cabin when you step inside like heavy timbers, and that's what we're using for the second floor. I ordered them from the miller, he's already got them cut and stacked. We don't like to plan too far out here. That kind of hubris is the sort the gods like to punish. At the very least, by the end of this trip, we need to haul those timbers in, and with any luck we'll be setting them down on finished walls. Now, I mentioned before, I've already built this cabin once, on the computer. The pros, they've got enough miles to just wing it, but not me. In the off season, I sit down and draw it all up. That way I can place the studs where the sheathing's going to meet. For example, the long walls are 16 feet. That means I can run 2 sheets of ply lengthwise on each wall, clean and simple. But the short walls are 12.5 feet, 12 plus the thickness of 2 walls. Makes things trickier for sheathing. So I plan it out, and when the time comes, I try to copy the plan as best as I can. It's not the only way to build, but it's my way.
Yeah, I'll just take it here. Here, give me the cap.
Got the top plate and the bottom plate drawn out. Now it's time to cut the whole mess of 8-foot studs. King studs, jack studs for doors and windows, plus headers and sills, all the accoutrement a wall needs to stand proud. It's the kind of job that looks simple on paper, but once the sawdust is flying you realize this is the backbone of the cabin right here. Now Becca's still acclimatizing to the bush. Best way I can describe it, imagine you're in the space station, suit on for the first time, and someone just opened the airlock. You're too busy thinking that this thin layer of fabric is the only thing between you and certain death to really enjoy the view. That's my sweetheart right now. She keeps glancing around like she's running the math. Charging bear, 100 feet to the edge of the clearing, 3.5 seconds to get the bear spray out before it's all over. Me, I don't look up from the work until the day's done. But give it a day or two and she'll be on the tools too. When Becca's sheathing this cabin full time, she'll be in the zone, same as me. Out here it seems every cut takes a little slice of time. First you mark, then you cut, then back again. Mark, cut, mark, cut. It's slow going when you're trying to build a cabin one stud at a time. I sometimes wonder if the old hands have a way of marking the whole stack and cutting it in one go. But me, I find the only sure path to laser precision is to take them one at a time. That's the rhythm of it. Mark, cut, mark, cut. The steady heartbeat of the bush build.
Where did you go?
Yeah. Nothing here left. Like your cell phone, your bills.
Becca said it must have been a heap of work cutting this trail. Truth is, I didn't bush hog, I didn't brush cut, I just dropped the trees in the way and let the Argo stomp the rest flat. Out here, if the Argo can squeeze through, it'll make its own road soon enough. So to all the armchair road builders out there, sometimes brute force and a hungry machine beat fancy plans.
Well, you know, the big problem is the logs keep you from sinking. And it gets something for the... But the logs make you go like this and this and that and bang and bang and bang. No, we're not getting stuck.
Tomorrow's job is hauling plywood, so tonight we drag the raft down the river. Best to be ready when the sun comes up. Out here, the fewer delays between breakfast and hard work, the better. The river waits for no one, but a raft set ahead of time can save a day.
Why don't you give
Hey,
them
it's
a
quiet
space?
now.
Why you don't give them a space? Don't go. Don't give.
running away.
Okay, let me clear the air. I've seen bears in the bush, but never once on the river. Likely it's because I don't stare down the banks like a hawk. I'm usually busy with a rope or motor while the boat drifts to shore. Becca doesn't like that drift. To her, it feels like any second a bear can come charging through the leaves. And then we did see one. Not a charging monster, but a shy old soul, standing there munching leaves like a big forest cow. What once was danger turned into a blessing. She plays that little clip now and laughs. The bear no longer a threat, but a neighbor. That's the way of the bush. What first feels frightening can, with time, become part of the beauty. Last night I tucked the raft in here for safekeeping. This morning we piled the plywood high in the trailer, and today's mission is clear. Get those supplies into the clearing. Out here, progress doesn't come in leaps, it comes in small ferries across the water, one load at a time. Not long ago, I was jawing with a local fella on his porch. Talk turned to his mill, the kind of trees he's got standing on his land, and what's worth cutting for boards. Somewhere in there, he told me about sheetwood plant he used to work at. Said the whole thing starts with round logs, not slabs. They set the log spinning, bring a blade against it, and peel the wood off in long ribbons, like unrolling a tree. I'd always wondered about those repeating swirls in plywood. Now it makes sense. Just goes to show you don't know what you don't know, and sometimes you never will, unless you stop, sit a spell, and ask the right question.
Find the helmet with the chainsaw helmet. It's the yellow. Probably in the side. No, it's not in one of the bins.
Well, somebody finally put a stopwatch to it. Becca clocked the trip, and pulling the loaded barge takes more than 4 times longer downriver than just slipping along in the canoe alone. What feels like a gentle float turns into a slow motion grind. They say hindsight's 2020. I told Becca we shouldn't load the Argo like a traveling circus. Plywood, tools, gas cans, a ladder, and 2 passengers who should have known better. But hey, I'm the boss out here, at least until the real boss gives me that look.
The worst place to be for the exhaust. Did it bother you on the drive? No.
Not that.
No.
Sometimes even if I'm standing.
Depends on which way the wind's blowing.
Yeah, even sometimes
So we were on borrowed time with the sawmill chain, the single. So snapped on us. We're almost to the clearing. How do you feel about that, Becca?
I don't know. Surprise.
We don't have enough charge.
GoPro died, but the bike quit from fuel starvation. I jury-rigged a water bottle to feed the carb. She'd run, then stumble. Topped off the tank and she fired right up. Looks like the reserve pickup's clogged. We called it a day. Best to head back, get some rest, and return tomorrow with the old chain and a new master link. Out here, patience and spare parts are worth more than horsepower.
What are you doing?
Nothing. I just see something. Nothing. I just wanted to see if it's the tree.
My back was telling me the truth before the clock ever did. I've been at that chain swap too long. The timestamps don't lie. An hour just to wrangle that master link into place. A dual chain is tough enough on a bench, let alone when you're working blind, all by feel. Out here, every little repair reminds you, you don't fight the machine, you endure it. It's all buttoned up now. A coat of chain lube and a blast of brake cleaner on the disc. That's the thing about a greasy chain running half an inch away from your brake. One slip of oil and you don't stop when you want to. You stop when the bush can hold you back. Two days and the load is finally here. That's why slow and steady wins the race. From now on, the loads will be smaller. The old chain we patched in has a temper. It'll jump a tooth if you push it too hard, throttle or brake. But that sharp bang is just the general's way of reminding me, treat the old warhorse with grace and he'll carry you through. The leaves slipping off the plywood are the first signs of autumn settling in. Up here, that's a welcome change. Autumn and winter dress the bush in their finest, and already the trees are starting to turn. I got a load of cutting ahead. Measure, mark, cut, then start again. These sheets will keep Becca busy for days. She's a semiconductor engineer by trade, and botching cabin sheeting isn't on her CV, at least not yet. But I know her. She'll grind away, steady as sawdust until it's done.
So we got the Argo.
Yeah, we did it. Yeah.
We got the ATV here. So I guess we'll try winching the wall up with the ATV winch.
Okay. That sounds fun.
We'll see how it goes.
Yeah, let's see how it goes. Give it a try.
It's a hot day.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of wind.
But here is like nice and cool.
Mm-hmm. We got to finish that wall off. And we got to start putting up the plywood.
Off-grid engineering is built on the old engineering triangle: cost, speed, and quality. You only ever get to choose two. If you want low cost and high speed, you'll end up with low quality. Out here, you can't just buy your way into the adventure, and honestly, you wouldn't want to. Why go to the gym when you can sweat it out here, stacking lumber and swinging saws, and feel at the end of the day like you've truly accomplished something? We're here to balance the triangle: spend a little, fix what we buy, move slow so we build muscle and character, and end up with something we're proud of. But off-grid engineering is about more than just cost, speed, and quality. It's about living life to the fullest, about embracing adventure. Even before there was a channel, we sat around fires and shared our goals and dreams. Friends leaned in, captivated. They gave us suggestions, they wanted to hear more, and the community grew from there. That hasn't changed. Today, the community is right here in the comments, teaching, sharing, and joking right alongside us. Folks remind me that the come-along works better if you pull the lever the way you want the load to go. They tell me to put my thumb on the back of the hammer. They give names to things like calling river logs logodiles. And they point out that a can of ether, well, that's properly called start you bastard. Every tip, every bit of wisdom, every joke, it all becomes part of the adventure. Out here, we might swing the hammers, but you sharpen the tools. If you're here watching, you're part of that story. Maybe your own adventure is a garden in the backyard or a fort with the kids hidden in the neighborhood. Maybe it's buying land and pitching a tent. Whatever it is, we hope this sparks it. We chose something hard, something we knew nothing about. We've done a lot in life, accomplished a lot, but this is the thing we'll always look back on as time well spent.
I'm just going to lift this up and you just slide this under. Don't get your fingers under it though.
The whole thing?
Just slip the end of it under. Keep your fingers away. Oh, that didn't work too well.
All summer, the ATV sat stranded down by the river. Muskeg roads are nature's check valve. You get one good rip in one direction, but try to come back and you'll spend the afternoon winching. So the bike stayed there, its last job hauling the bush hog onto the river bank. Now with the new road opened up, we dragged it back to the clearing. The plan? Put the winch to work lifting this wall. The trick is the lever action of the pyramid. And if you're one of the 50 people who commented and told me to try it this way, well, this is your moment. Time to stand in a circle and pat each other on the back. I dropped that heavy wall on purpose, because some of you told me in the comments you like it when things go sideways. So there you go, one wall smashed flat on the deck, all in the name of content. If you want to see more walls come tumbling down, machines getting stuck, or me bonking myself in the face with a hammer, hit that like button. That's how I'll know if I should keep making mistakes. I've moved the pyramid out and leaned it hard toward the wall while Becca tensions the strap. Take 2. Out here you don't get many rehearsals, but sometimes at the right angle and a little teamwork, the second try is the one that counts. Becca and I just crunched out a whole bunch of content you won't want to miss. So hit subscribe, stick around for the next chapter, and drop us a note in the comments. We love hearing from you. This off-grid journey is all about the cabin build, the homestead life, and the real challenges of living off the land. From hauling lumber through mud and muskeg to raising cabin walls in the bush, every step is about building something we can be proud of and sharing it with you. Whether you're here to see how to build an off-grid cabin, curious about off-grid living in Canada, or just looking for inspiration to chase your own adventure, this channel is for you. We'll see you soon for the next chapter of this off-grid cabin build.